Hey, this is Regina Chen. I'm your local real estate agent right here in Irvine, California. Today we're going to talk about the top 4 reasons why homeowner or investor are not selling their home, and how I've been helping those homeowners to address their concern and to take the advantage of today's market. The number 1 reason homeowner doesn't want to sell is because they don't know where they go next. Every family have different situation, goals, and needs. So let's first of all break it into 2 buckets: homeowner and renter. Homeowner and investor. So I want to share with you, when it comes to homeowner, I mean, everybody know the price is high, but when you switch to see, when you become the buyer, where do I buy my next home? I want to share 2 ways to go about it that we actually help our client to have like a smooth transition. Well, number 1 is a very popular route is new construction home. When we start thinking about selling our home, maybe for whatever reason you need to trade up, you want a better location, if you decided to go with new construction route, then we'll be visiting all those new builder homes. Start to look at what they have to offer, what's the inventory, and when is their release date and moving date. And we will identify the new home we're going to buy. Sign the purchase contract. We will have a specific date to work back our timeline in terms of selling. Actually, we've been doing like several Eastwood transaction with that approach. Eastwood is a very popular neighborhood. I have many clients, they love that neighborhood, but they outgrown their home. So we end up going to new construction, for example, like Fresco. So that's one way, one answer for potential home seller. Think about, where do I go next? We will find you a new construction home, secure a new construction home, and work back the timeline, figure out the detail how to sell your home, and balance both sides, ensure a smooth transition, minimize the interruption to the family and to the kids. Another way to go about is we will look at all the resale home. I want to share another case study. That's another of our clients that they live in Columbus Grove. Their 2 boys already graduate from college. They originally moved down to Irvine for the good school. So they are living in the condo, paying, you get what you pay for. Irvine, for the newer community, you all have to pay for quite some amount of HOA and mailer roofs. Now the boys are out of school. Now it's time to think about the parents. They always wanted to have a single family home with a big yard. That's more relaxing. They don't have to take the stairs, and they're looking for their forever home. So what we do is we help them to do the research to see what are the city they want to move to, because they've been in Irvine for decades. They really love what Irvine has to offer. So on one hand, they want more space, they want a single family home, but then they don't want to be too far away from all those convenience or doctor they really like. They don't want to completely change their lifestyle. So we end up identify, we will look for single family home in Lake Forest, Mission Viejo, Laguna Niguel area. And we figured out, okay, for their future sales proceed, what they can afford, they feel more comfortable, they can find something in those adjacent city, like I just mentioned. Then we start to prepare putting the Irvine home for sale on the market. But we work with the buyers that telling them that we are asking for an ample time for the lease back. As soon as for your current home, all contingency removed, my client is able to make solid offer, or the offer that the seller, the seller on the other side were willing to consider our offer. So without getting into too much detail, if you're a homeowner, where you can go, we'll have new construction route, we can look at the retail. But no matter which route you want, you don't need to make a decision right now, because like I said, there are so many factors we need to consider and to balance. The best way is you don't need to figure this whole thing in your head. We're doing this every day. We're on the market every day. We'll be able to, the best way I suggest is to just sit down, understand your situation, and I'll lay down all the options to you. We can take it from there. That's where the homeowner can go when selling their home. And if you're our investor, your property right now is rented out, then most likely you want to take advantage of the 1031 exchange to transfer the tax space. So then we have to sit down to talk about that. After selling your current investment property, what's the next property looks like to you? You want it to be. Are you thinking about still in Orange County, still in-state or out-of-state? And what is your return financial expectation? What's your ROI? We'll talk about both directions, strategy. Is it focused on the appreciation, or it's more important for you to have a positive cash flow? And sometimes we can find something, it's a hybrid. You'll have some positive cash flow and good appreciation. So again, that's all bring back to what I said, that it's a lot of things to talk about, and every family, every person's situation is different. The best way is to schedule a consultation. That way we can provide you, show you what's the most personalized route that's best suited for you. Number 2, another reason most potential home seller get stuck is they feel like, oh, my house is so old. I still have popcorn ceiling. My windows are old. Probably you have some deferred repair needed as well. So it becomes very daunting task. And you hear about all the supply chain challenges. You just feel like, oh my God, I don't know where to start. And it feels like a big test before I can put it on the market. We do this every day. What I like to offer is, if you have the thought about selling, potentially selling, maybe not now, maybe the next year or two, it's not too early to start the conversation with me, because I would like to come in, meet you at the property. I would tell you my honest opinion that what is the best use of time and money when it comes to prepping the house, repair the house. Because the last thing I want you to do or happen to you is that you end up spending a lot of time and money on something you probably won't get a good return, especially in today's environment, because of supply chain issue and most real estate related vendors are pretty much tied up. It's better to work with professional. We have a regular contractor team, vendor, always work with us, so we can quickly give you a response in terms of how long your project gonna take, how much, a rough estimate of how much it costs, and overlay with my recommendation, what's a must do, what's a nice to have. Then we can discuss as a team, decide that you have a good idea, a scope of the project involved and how much time involved. Then you can make a informed decision from there. Number 3, an often heard concern is that, Regina, I want to sell, but I can't. I still have tenant until 3 months later. Well, the good news is you don't have to wait till your lease is up. Actually, we see pretty often in today's market, a lot of listings come with a lease attached to it. In fact, 2 days ago, I just closed a condo in Eastwood. It's with a tenant occupy. By the time we close, there's still 3 more month lease on the contract. That doesn't stop from multiple offers. That doesn't stop our cash buyers. So there's one thing I do want to share with you. If you are a landlord right now, if your tenant has been living in the unit for more than 1 year, by regulation, you need to give tenant at least 60-day notice. So it's pretty much 2 months notice. So it's just a side note, no matter you're thinking about selling, you definitely want to give the tenant ample notice. And you don't worry about that. When you decided to sell, to work with me, the agent will take care of all the communication and compliance, so you don't have to worry about miss any key date or anything. But I just want to put it out there, let all the landlord know out there, if you have a more than 1 year tenant, no matter your annual lease already up, you turn into a month to month, as long as they've been with you for more than 1 year, you have to give them 60 days notice. Let them know you don't intend to renew the lease. All right, so bring it back. So even you have a tenant, your lease is still active. That doesn't stop you from selling your home. And as an agent, we have many ways, depends on the rental situation, that we will be able to start advertising it. And we will disclose that we still have lease on this property, but I know you hear me talk about this so many times, because the inventory is so tight, there's such a significant demand for purchase for buyers. So buyers are very cooperating and accommodating. Even you have lease on it, that's not a showstopper. But obviously when it comes to listing and selling, there's more to think about. I just don't want you to stop there thinking that I have to wait till my lease ends. Another reason home owners not selling, I hear often, is about capital gain. Well, when it comes to capital gain, there are two things about capital gain people are concerned about. One is that I don't want to sell because, I don't want to pay the tax. Well, the reality is I don't think the capital gain tax is going away. If anything, well, first of all, I'm not a tax professional. You probably want to talk to your CPA to see their opinion in terms of all the tax law, potential changes, and what does that trend looks like. So you can decide, should you wait or you should take advantage of the current market and situation. Coming back to the capital gain, I also have homeowner I've been working with, like having conversation with. They're thinking about they want to wait out to reach that 2 years mark, which is a valid concern. I can understand, but you can wait till to close your home. Make sure you pass that 2 years mark so you don't get charged much higher tax rate. But all the planning, it's not too early to talk about it. I'll give you one example. Like one of my clients, they just bought the home probably less than 2 years, several months away, shy from 2 years mark. And I let them know that we can start do all the prepping, all the, like, for example, new paint or some touch up you want to do while we're planning. And we actually can get on the market before it hits the 2 years mark, because considering all the pre-marketing, marketing, negotiation, and closing, we also can ask for a longer close. That meaning that your 2 years cutoff for the capital gain tax 2 years mark. That's just also something to think about. Overall, if you have any idea thinking about your entertaining the selling their house, it's never too early to start talking to an agent. I would love to be that consultant to share with you what we're seeing in the market and what's the real life application, how each market take the approach unique to their situation, maybe just like that, give you some idea, a case study, then we can get the conversation, the planning going. So if you want to discuss your situation, you want to know in your situation, how does the selling will look like? Or you want to know more detail about those case study, client story, learn more about them, reach out to me. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'll see you in the next video.